Hey guys, I thought I would do an unboxing video of the brand new E-flite Ultra Stick 1.1 meter. Just got this today from my friends at Horizon Hobby. This is a cool kit for a lot of reasons. This is actually an all balsa plane. It's not a foam plane like you're used to seeing from E-flite. So easier to fly, tons of power, wide flight envelope. Big thing it says wood construction. Plane actually, and I got the bind the flying wood, so it actually has smart technology and safe. So enough talk, guys. Let's open the box and show you what's inside, and then what I'm going to do is I will do a complete build video here so you guys can see how this guy goes together. So let's open the box and show you what's inside. It's crazy, guys, and you can also see here how small and thin this box is. This box is only like 3.5, 4 inches tall. So very, very small, compact, not like the foamies that you normally see, as I said before, when you're getting an E-flite plane. So let's open the box and show you what's inside here. This is actually, for me, it's also the first look too, so I have not looked inside this box myself. So guys, that's what you get inside the box. So let me take all the parts out of the box and then I'll put it on the table and I'll show you what is included in the kit. So guys, this is everything you get in the box. You're going to get your wing, and when you get this, if you order this plane, the finish on this plane is amazing. They did a really good job with the covering. Very, very clean, nice and tight. They actually did a really good job. So you're going to get your wings, you're going to get your fuselage, your landing gear, your rear stabilizer, your rudder. You're going to get a propeller with all the adapters. You're going to get your hardware kit with your control arms and things like that. They also, it looks like they give you the hardware if you want to go to the 4-servo setup, but I'm going to just fly it the way it is with the 2 ailerons. They do give you the hardware if you actually want to add the other 2 servos to do independent flaps and ailerons, but I'm not going to do that. Also give you some Velcro for the battery. So this is what's in your box, and of course they're going to give you a very extensive owner's manual so you guys can put it together. Again, this is the bind and fly, so everything's included with this plane, excluding of course the radio and the battery, but the motor, the ESC, all the servos, everything's included. So I'm going to open the book real quick and read through it, and then I will begin the build process. Hey guys, so the first part of the build is we're going to install the rudder and we're going to install the elevator. So the rudder actually comes with the hardware already attached and some bolts. So what you're going to do is you're going to take off the bolts and the washers, and then we're going to install the rudder in the fuselage frame with the 2 bolts. Then the elevator will actually be attached to the bottom, and then what we will do is we will put the bolts back on, and then that part will be finished. So let's go ahead and do that. So guys, to install the rudder and the elevator, it does require a 5.5 millimeter socket. So you're going to need one of those so you can do the first step in the assembly. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take off the bolts on the rudder part. And then what you're going to do is you're going to install the first part on the top of the fuselage. Like so. Hopefully you guys can see this. So we're going to install that like this, and then the bolts go through the bottom of the fuselage, and then there what you're going to do is you're going to install the elevator. And when you're installing the elevator, you'll notice here on the elevator, so you don't get this wrong, there's see-through covering on the bottom, and then the top of the plane is actually going to be the solid white with the stripes. So this is the top side. Goes on like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the bottom plate and cover up the bolts. Goes like that. Push that down. And then you're going to put the hardware back. So there's a washer on both of them here. Pretty straightforward. And then the two lock nuts. And then you're going to tighten these down with the hex nut. Make sure you don't over tighten this. Remember guys, this is balsa, you don't want to break anything. Just tighten it down where it's snug. Make sure everything is tight. There we go. And then per the instructions, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, there is a little hex bolt on the rear landing gear. What they want you to do is loosen it and then move this bolt down so it's almost on the top of the brace here, and then retighten it. So let's do that. To tighten that bolt down, you're going to actually need a 1.5 millimeter little hex driver. So let's do that real quick. So what I did is I loosened it, I slid it down so it's touching the plate, and then I'm going to tighten it again. Okay, so that's done. So guys, the next thing we're going to install per the instructions is the landing gear. And in the hardware package, what you're doing is you're going to grab the 3x12 millimeter little threaded bolts and the washers, and you're going to install the landing gear with the threaded bolts. So let's grab those. So again, you're going to have a little hardware package. You don't know if you can see this, with 4 threaded bolts and 4 lock nuts, and you're going to install those on the bottom of the landing gear to the fuselage. So let's do that. And these are installed with just a regular Phillips screwdriver, so you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver to do that. Just a regular Phillips screwdriver to do the landing gear. there we go, guys. I installed the 4 bolts for the landing gear, and now the landing gear has been installed. Okay, so the next step of the manual, and I'm not going to do this, is for the optional 4-servo wing. I'm not going to do that. It shows you what you need to do to install the 2 optional servos. So if you want to do flaps and ailerons, you can do that. It does require 2 more servos, and you can get that as a kit from Horizon Hobby. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just putting this together for the manual with the 2 ailerons, and that's it. So let's move on to the next step here. So guys, as you can see here, all the wiring and everything, the ESC, everything is pre-installed. And since I'm only going to be doing the stock setup with the 2 aileron servos, they do give you inside here 2 servo extenders. And what you're going to do is you're going to hook those up to your servos on your wings when you install it. So that's really the only installation you have to do. And then what I really like on side of this, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this, they did put a little piece of Velcro on the inside of the fuselage here on a plywood brace. So if you want to do wire management and you want to lock all your wires and stuff nice and clean, you can do that. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you can see this inside here. There's a piece of Velcro here on the side of the fuselage. I'm going to route all the wires through there and tighten that up. And then what I'll do is I will install the wing with the 2 servos, so I can actually just show you the basic assembly, and then we're going to come back and do the next part, which is putting on the propeller and the nose cone. So let's do that. Okay guys, so hopefully you can see this. There's a little piece of Velcro in here. What I did is I wrapped all the wires up. The only thing I left not wrapped up was the 2 aileron extensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the wing on with the hookups here, and then I'll attach that, and then we'll move on to installing the propeller and the nose cone, and then this plane is done. So you guys can see on the bottom wing the 2 basic aileron servos are pre-installed. These are beefier servos. I believe they're metal. Yeah, it looks like they're metal geared servos with beefier control horns, and then you have your 2 aileron extensions here in the middle. So let's pull those out. Now remember too, when you're pulling tape and stuff off this is film. Don't just rip it off because you don't want to damage the covering. So we'll install these. And again, basic hookup here, you're going to do white to yellow, red to red, and then you're going to do black to brown. And again, white to yellow, red to red, and brown to black. Okay. Now, there is a dowel rod on the front of the wing that actually goes into a support on the front of the fuselage, and then you're going to attach the nylon screw to the back, and that's what holds the wing in place, like this. And again, this is the nylon bolt that actually attaches the wing. It does actually have a standard screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver thread on it to do that, but from what I've been told, you can actually hand tighten this. And it does a good job, so we're going to try that just to make sure it's right. Yep, just hand tighten it, works okay. You don't need to use a screwdriver to do that. Okay guys, so we're going to install the back plate first. This actually goes on the shaft, the motor shaft. This is the first thing that you're going to do, and then you're going to put the prop on that, and then you're going to put the bolt and the nut on top of the prop. So let's do that. So the first thing that goes on when you're installing the nose cone is the back plate. It goes on first, like such. they do give you a good, this is a 10 by 16 prop, and then the prop is going to go on next, like such. And then you're going to put on the washer, and then the bolts. And then you're going to grab a wrench and you're going to tighten down the bolt. I'm not going to do that in this step because this is just the build process, but what you would do is you would tighten it down with a wrench so it's tight. And then the last step, guys, that you're going to do is you're going to take the little screws here and you're going to screw the front of the nose cone to the front of the motor mount. And these go on with just a regular Phillips screwdrivers, guys. So let's do that. And guys, we're done. That's the build of the brand new Ultra Stick, the 1.1 meter from E-flite. As you can see, goes together super fast, really easy to do. So the next video I will do in this series will be, I will bind my radio and I will hook up all the control surfaces and things like that and get that all dialed in. And then after that, we're ready to take her out and do a flight. Thanks for watching.